Greetings, y'all. It is Matt from the Green Arcade. I'm back. It's another morning on the farm. We're getting ready to begin our big oat harvest. I gotta go pick up another header. I never bought a grain header for the New Holland, so we gotta do that. Let's head that way. I think I've already got the case going. I'm gonna put the New Holland over in the other field with me. I need to turn my beacons on there. Maybe my hazards as well. Yep. Good morning, Fuzzy. How's it going? Got a lot of oats to do today. A lot of oats, and maybe get to the other stuff. I'll have to check and see when the sugar cane's ready. I don't know when the sugar cane's ready. Morning, Twitchy. How's it going? Oh, there's the mailman. Oh. Alright, now I should be able just to go straight over to this field right here. Go in and buy that. Let's see, transport wheels. I'll leave the MacDon on there. US work lights. This is where I always get. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make that yellow and make that part maybe New Holland blue. I think that'll look pretty good. Alright, so that's 177. We got it. Alright, should be able to just drive straight over here. Use 3, then we'll do 0 for the direction. That looks good to me. And we're cutting the oats. I'm not going to worry about putting straw down. We've got so much TMR. That little TMR factory that we put in, it makes so much TMR. We're good. And we've got straw bales over there to put in there just in case we want to make some more. So, honestly, we probably will not have time. Even if we had to make some, because next weekend there will not be a stream. I won't be streaming next weekend because the November 3rd, 4th area, that time frame, is when the expansion pack comes out. So I will be streaming that when it comes out. So if you're watching this, make sure you follow. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you follow over on Twitch, because the Twitch streams will come way before the YouTube videos do. The YouTube videos will most likely come out day or two after the release, probably, of the expansion pack. Probably that, let's see, probably that Wednesday or Thursday. Likely the Thursday, I would say, maybe Thursday and that Friday. So make sure that you follow and subscribe, both places. It's gonna be a good time. I'm ready to go fishing. How about y'all? Y'all ready to go fishing? I'm ready to go fishing. I wish, I'm sure over time, they're just releasing the fishing part for Farming Simulator. So over time, they probably will have more fish, like more types of fish. I really would like to go bass fishing, catfish, and maybe crappie. That would be cool. I can't remember exactly which fish. I think the fish that are going to be there to start is probably going to be the salmon and the, I think they said trout. Don't quote me on that, though. Been a minute since I saw the the release of the preview, if you will, the blog of the fish part. So already got my Dr. Pepper open. Good to go. It is pitch black outside. Very, very dark. There's not a bit of light out there. I know the time change is next weekend, isn't it? Do I have a server on FS19 multiplayer? No. That game has been retired. As soon as they release the newest game for Farming Simulator, we typically move on. Now, I have gone back. Not that, I would never go back, because I have gone back to 15. It's a possibility that I could go back to, 17, 19, 22. In the future, it'll be in the distant future, but it is a possibility that I could go back to those one day. But for now, we're full speed ahead on Farming Simulator 25. But yeah, the time changes next weekend. So what is that? Spring forward, fall back. You gotta turn your clocks back. Alright, coming up on my tractor here. I should be able to... You know what? I need to take my coat off. It's summertime now. Let me change that. Wardrobe. Back to my t-shirt. Yay. And a little update on these white tracks on the tractor. So Hispano released this T9 Tracked Edition in the mod hub. It's available for everybody. A fix is coming for this. He's aware, or they are aware of the issue with the tracks turning white. This is not an isolated incident. Many others are having the same issue. When you save the game and come back in, your tracks turn white. It's not just this tractor either. The new 9RT that Hispano released in the mod hub for everybody, that one, its tracks also turn white. So they are going to be releasing an update for this tractor. Now I think you can actually change them back. Let's see. Go in here to customize. So if you do that and you just do customize, I think it changes them back. Yeah, so they're black now. But as soon as you save the game and come back in, they will be white again. So yeah, there is a fix. There's an update coming for at least these two tractors. I don't know if any of his other stuff does that, but there is an update coming. Oh, did he get full? He got full. And Fuzzy, I'm just going down to the AGI silo down there to dump all these oats. I think we'll have room down there for them. Good morning, Crazy Legs. How's it going? Getting colder too. Gonna be very cold the next 2 weeks. The temperature just keeps going down and down and down. We've got a couple of days this coming week where the highs will be in the mid 50s. The lows are gonna be in the lower 40s. And then the week following that, it gets super cold. We're gonna have lows pretty close to freezing. We're gonna be down in the lower 30s the following week. So yeah. It'll be very, very cold coming up soon. I'm gonna have to get my hot chocolate stuff. Switch from, well, I could switch off of my, cold, ice chilled Dr. Peppers and switch to the hot chocolate stuff. Or I could drink like room temperature Dr. Pepper, I guess. That would be warmer. But still, something about the hot chocolate in the bird months. On the cold days especially. Curves here. I'll meet you up here where it gets straighter. I think this field turned out good. We merged it all together and kind of broadened this curve here. He should be able to go without stopping around this area. I think that one curve back there he might have stopped at, but he may have just got full too. But I think it's broad enough now. He shouldn't stop. It should be just a continuous. That's the word. Pass all the way around the field. So, good morning, Yuleberry. How's it going? Are you looking forward to the healing coos? I'm looking forward to the healing coos. It would be cool, you how you have the new hired worker feature where they can do the passes on the outside, like go clockwise around the field. It would be cool if they could somehow implement the tractors to be able to like follow along at least maybe the unload point, where you could hire that out with the thing, because as it is right now, that does not exist. If I pull it up, yeah, see, it doesn't exist. There's no field for it to do because you're not technically in the field, so you might be able to do it like on the second pass when you're in the field and just do like an offset or something off of the combine. But it'd be nice if they had a simpler feature. Yeah, it still doesn't. I still don't think you can do it with a grain cart. So it'd be nice if they would implement something where you could, pull up to the combine here. You know how it automatically detects that you're there, and the guy puts his pipe out. It'd be nice if it could auto detect you're there and be like, okay, hire this out. Hire worker, or turn on auto steer so that the center of the auger wagon stays with the combine. It'd be nice if they could figure out how to do that. Looking forward to it too. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna like it. I think it's gonna be a pretty map. It looks pretty from everything that I've seen. They just released the garage trailer. I think early this past week, and you can see a lot of the map there and a lot of the equipment there. Hello, Argentina. How's it going? I think that's where Hispano is from. Aren't they from? Or are they? Maybe that's not Argentina. Maybe they're either Argentina or Brazil. I'd have to go back and look. I should be able to set this. Just follow along here with the enhanced vehicle mod. Should be a straight to 0 degree line. Straight north. Let's go take a look. See where Hispano's from. Hello. Pretty sure, I want to say he was based in Argentina. I don't remember where I saw that. Maybe it wasn't Argentina. No, I was way off. I think he might be from Spain. That's in Europe, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think they're located in, I think he's in Spain then. So I was a little off on that one. Hispano. According to, from his, like, his, posts, he has... Oh, that's not a broad enough curve. Okay. He has posts, that he does in English, and then another one that he does, and it shows the flag of what he's translating from, I guess. And one's got the U.S. flag, and then the other one's got the, Spanish flag from Spain, so I guess he's from Spain. We were talking about his tractor. He's got an update coming for, I don't know, I guess it's going to be for the individual mods themselves, maybe? He's going to update this tractor in the 9RT that he released, so that the tracks don't turn white when you save it and come back in. This is illegal to run this in the highway, right? Sure it is. Alright, now I know he's probably not going to turn by himself up here. He'll probably have to stop and back up. Right up here. I don't think this curve was broad enough. It's okay if it's not. I mean, I aim to try to make the curves broad enough so that you can, you know, at least when you're running the stuff yourself, like, come around the curve without having to stop and do that, but trying to get him to hold a line without stopping. Yeah, he's not gonna do it. You gotta back up, do a little bit, and then probably back up again, and then head on north here. Yep, do a little bit more. Back up. Turn a little bit. Back up again. Then come on north. That should be good. He should hold that line. Yep. Alright. So yeah, no stream next weekend. I'll be getting ready for the move over to Kingsland. I cannot say the name ever. The Highlands map, basically. Gonna go over there, play, and then it won't be long after that Stevie will be releasing his map. He's currently working on it. It's in its testing phases with him, doing the play testing now. So he's had to make some changes, you know, and do some changing and some editing. So. All to make everything good in the end, I guess. Still haven't gotten an answer from anybody. How would you guys like to see Stevie's map? Would you like to see the in-game equipment, the realistic equipment? Would you like to see the Stevie equipment? I'm leaning more towards the Stevie equipment. At least to an extent. I would say tractors are probably okay using the in-game stuff. You know, I'll say the in-game stuff. The in-game stuff and a lot of the mod hub stuff. Using the more realistic tractors. I know we've got some that are kind of exclusive from JHHG and Hispano and others. But maybe using Stevie's combines, maybe the planters or something. I don't know. You guys tell me what would you like to see? Would you like to see us use the in-game stuff or? Where are you going, bro? Where are you doing? Bro. You gotta think. He's thinking, okay, I was going north. If the moss grows on this side of the tree and Pluto is aligned with Neptune, then I can harvest this way. Okay, we're rolling. You usually use all Stevie's equipment on a Stevie map, and that's kind of what I was thinking too. That's kind of what I was leaning towards because, number one, it is a Stevie map, so it kind of makes sense to use his equipment. And he's got a lot of exclusives that nobody else has brought out yet. So might kind of hand pick some of his mods to use on that map. Not go to the extent that probably did on Judith Plains, because I think I took all of his mods and used them over there. But probably just pick out some hand selected ones. And again, tractors, I would say we could still use a lot of the other tractors that are not Stevie tractors. I know with his tractors, he usually bumps up like the speed on them, and then he puts strobe lights on them. I don't know how big of a fan of all the strobe lights I am, but they're not bad. But I just sometimes when you get an old tractor, like the 4755 tractor, if you're gonna put a beacon on that, just put an old school style beacon on it. It doesn't need dual strobes. That's just my opinion, though. Make it an option where you can select what type of beacon light is on it, or have them on or off, I guess. I think I found a replacement for that one, though. And it is in the mod hub, I believe. I don't remember who put it out. It might be a convert from AAA, but it's in the mod hub, so I gotta go back in and rework the Google Drive, because probably not the Highlands map, but at least the Stevie map will have a lot of that stuff that you don't have fuzzy. And I have got to dwindle down that Google Drive to make it smaller. That's why I'm gonna go in and hand pick stuff to add to that map, so that it's not such a chore to have to download and have a huge file size. But I'll say this, the map itself, the Stevie 4X Riverbend, right now it's sitting around 2.2 gigabytes. So he may try to optimize that a little more and get it down a little bit, but right now it sits at 2.2 gigabytes. That's a pretty big file size. Judith Plains wasn't that big. But that tells me that there's a lot of um, there's a reason why it's that big. So it's probably got a lot of detail. It's probably got a lot of functional aspects in the map. I know he's got probably a lot of his productions in there. He has gone back and added some 22 stuff like the Grocer Y and the what was that? Was it the Farmers Market over on Silver Run? I think he added that in there. So it's going to have a lot of functional places. I know he usually has additional stuff like seed makers and TMR mixers and liquid storage and compost, and he's got custom greenhouses, and he's got a lot of stuff that he kind of builds into the maps. So that's and they've got a lot of animation and detail, and that's probably why the file size is so big. But once you have the map, the rest, just kind of dwindle down, kind of filter through, which mods you want to utilize, and go from there. Do you like the Ray County map? Yeah, it's okay. It's a very plain map. There's not a lot to it. There's a lot of deer stands on it, so that's, I guess it's, if you want a map that is, I'm assuming it's probably based on a real location, but if you want a map that's probably more realistic-ish, I need to go empty. I'm gonna go empty real quick while he goes around. Ray County is probably a good map. No, I think Ray County, that's a 2X map, I think, isn't it? I think it's 2X. But I think the dealership and then that area down in the southwest corner of Ray County, that is the only, there's not a town in it. There's not a town. There's like one sell point maybe, or maybe two, maybe one or two sell points. I want to say one. Good morning, welcome in, good morning. But yeah, it's kind of plain. A lot of trees on it. But if you want that map that's, if you're sitting down to play it and farm it, it's probably more on the realistic side of how it actually is in real life. Pretty map. It's just, it doesn't have a lot of that, a lot of that extra stuff that a lot of maps have. Like this map, the Iowa Plains map, it has a lot of extra stuff. It has the water mill. It has the town. It has the the popcorn production, the pancake production, ketchup, pizza production, all that. I like the extra stuff. Doing good. How are you doing? What does that say? Amy Lou? Is it Amy Lou? Hey, how's it going? I like all the extra productions. I hope we get more of them in the future. We should have enough room in here for... I've got a little bit of corn still in here. But there should be plenty of room for the oats. This is supposed to have a 5 million liter capacity, so... Gotta go way around here to get back to him. There's a creek there that separates us. Cut through the watermill over here. Yeah, I like all the extra production stuff. I like having that in there. I would really like, and this is just my opinion, if a couple things. So you know how you have all the productions, right? You have a lot of the productions from Giants that they've added. So you have the soup factory, you have the potato chip factory, you know, you have the bakery, the flour mill, and all that stuff. It would be really cool to be able to go inside the buildings of the production and actually see like an animated process. They could do, if they wanted to try to do the, you know, like the animated workers or something, to show the process of how wheat is turned into flour, how wheat is turned into you know, to the, what is it, the yeast or the bread, and then, you know, you make bread out of it, you know. It'd be really cool to see that process in some form or fashion, you know. I know the process is probably going to be different all around the world, so it would just be really neat to be able to see that. And then number two, the other thing I'd like to see, fruits of your labor. It would be nice to be able to have your farmer have to eat. You know, be able to decide what you want to grow and what you want to eat, because there's plenty to eat. You know, you could eat bread. You know, you could, even if they add other productions, you know, you could eat all kinds of stuff. Soon we're gonna have fish, so you'll be able to eat probably like fish and chips. So say there's like a restaurant production out there that is a fish and chips restaurant. So you have, well, you're gonna have fish, right? And then you're gonna have potatoes to make the potato. I don't know. Do you guys call them? I don't know. Yeah, where do they? Y'all don't call them French fries. Y'all just call them chips, right? Right, Yuleberry? You would know. Here we call the fish and chips fish and probably French fries or potato wedges, or, you know, something like that. But over there, you know, they call them fish and chips. Here, chips is going to be like Lay's chips or Dorito chips or, you know, Sun chips, or, you know, something like that. Chips is going to be chips. It's a whole different classification for what chips are. But I do like fish. I would like to have hush puppies. Hush puppies would be a good production to have. You know, there's a lot of American productions that you could have. So you think about, like, if your farmer, say you had a seafood restaurant. Okay, you could go in, order a plate of fish, and on that plate, if you wanted to do it European style, you could do fish and chips. Or you could do it American style and have fish, hush puppies, a little bit of tartar sauce, maybe some ketchup. You could do fries if you wanted to, I guess. And then, I don't know, I usually have a honey biscuit. So, oh, okay. Hello, hello, good morning. Yeah, it felt like I was in the upper sixth here because I was going way faster than this guy. Yeah, that would be confusing if they served both fries and chip. We just call them French fries. I never really looked that up, why they call them French fries. I'm sure there's a story there, but we just call them fries and chips. So there's fries, which is fried potato, chips. It's not really chips, but it's fried. It's like French fries. So we have that, and then we have chips, and we have hush puppies, and you just go down the line. Hush puppies, all hush puppies are, is just cornbread. That's basically, it's their little cornbread balls, basically. Sometimes you can put corn in them. Sometimes you can put little bits of jalapenos in them. So. Huh? You know what? I got some barbecue chips in there. I need to dig those out. Yeah, I'm gonna let him go. I'm gonna meet him over here. Or get straight again. Trains are running. Hauling all that grain. They do it late into the night. You get used to it though. Fall time, late summer, fall time, you got the sounds of harvest, I guess. You got the dryers running, you've got the trains running, and every now and then you'll hear the tractors and the equipment running. And I think most part you'll always hear the dryers and the train running. See, I was hoping he would make that turn and not stop, but he's gonna do it anyway. Alright. Another thing I'd like to see is peanuts. It'd be nice to have peanuts in Farming Simulator. Maybe they'll do that in the future. Think of all the stuff that you can make, though, that they haven't added yet. You get peanuts, you could have peanut butter. You could have candy bars with peanuts in them. You could have these nuts. Yeah, got them. You could have all kinds of stuff. Peanut oil. And if they bring in, orchards and stuff like that, I still think orchards it's in the pipeline. If they bring in orchards, you could plant all kinds of trees. You could have pecans, you could have apples, oranges, cherries, all kinds of stuff. And then that opens up the possibility, you know, when you add the sugar in with it, when you add the flour in with it, opens up where you can make pies, you can make different kinds of cake, you can make different kinds of cookies and cobblers, and oh my gosh, I'm getting hungry just talking about this stuff. Oh, it's good stuff. Bring in the berries, you know. We need more berries for at least for the greenhouses. The greenhouses can keep the tomatoes, the strawberries, the lettuce, and all the other little extra stuff that they do now. But bring in the blueberries. They did, I mean, Celobuki, he added blueberries to his greenhouse here, so you can definitely do blueberries. Bring in blackberries, raspberries. I know there's a raspberry production that's in the mod hub now. Yeah, bring in the berries. We want to see the berries. We need the boysenberry. We need gosh, there's a lot of berries, isn't it? I didn't even think about how many berries there are. I guess if they did another South American map, or maybe like a tropical map or something like that, they could bring in bananas and stuff. You know, like bananas and maybe what, mangoes or coconut. Oh, dude, that'd be cool. Bananas and coconut. Then that opens up another whole realm in production, you know? You can do banana pudding. You can do all kinds of pudding. Banana pudding, chocolate pudding, coconut pudding, vanilla pudding. It'd be really cool if we could start making coffee. I think that would be a great production. Yeah, pineapple. Oh yeah, pineapples. You're right, crazy. That'd be a good one. You think about it, if they did a Hawaiian map, they have a lot of pineapples in Hawaii. Do pineapples, kiwi. Yeah, coffee would be fun. I mean, you think about, you know, coffee's like everybody, I won't say everybody, but every country probably, maybe, they have some type of coffee. You know, it's a thing. It's one of those things like air, like oxygen. So many people drink coffee, and there's so many businesses, you know. But they could come up with their own coffee business for Giants, for Farming Simulator, you know. I wouldn't call it lizard coffee, but I mean, you know, they could have, like, you know, we have the Central Cafe, so keep the Central Cafe, but it'd be cool to be able to have your farmer get a thermos of coffee in the morning before he heads out to the field, you know. Maybe get a little thermos of coffee, a little piece of a blueberry pie. Honestly, me personally, I would like to see barbecue, but I know we probably won't ever have that. But you know, or you know, cheeseburger. You know. They could do the veggie pizza though. I like the veggie pizzas. That's usually what I get. I don't get a whole lot of you know, pepperoni sausage pizzas. Mostly what I'm getting is like a veggie pizza. I'm gonna go ahead and go empty this road. I can hit this field over here and go straight around there. Can't see them putting a Starbucks in the game, or you know, a Dunkin' Donuts or anything like that. Ooh, donuts. Donuts would be a great production. You don't have to be a brand name to make a good donut either. All you need, what all do you need for donuts? So you need the flour to make the actual like dough part of it, and then what do they make the glaze out of? Is it sugar and something? Probably water, or maybe milk. I don't know. You know what? I need to do. I need to go. How is it made? That'd be something to watch on YouTube. How are donuts made? How's the glaze made? Oh, probably egg. Yeah, you're right. Probably egg. This doesn't look like a place where there would be a Starbucks. I don't know. There could be one on the corner in town there. We do have a Central Cafe, which is kind of like the country diner version of Denny's or something. Yeah, you're right. Probably eggs and flour but you know, it'd be cool to see that process. You know, see the whole process from harvesting the wheat, the grain, the barley, whatever goes into it. Seeing all that become flour. So sorghum, oats, wheat, barley, that all goes straight to flour. Be able to see that process of that being made, and then being able to haul the flour to where you're going, and seeing that process of the flour being made into like the donut, and then them deep frying it. And you know, even if it's on like a conveyor belt, you know, I've seen that process where the donuts are made and then they're put on a conveyor belt, and then they roll by on the conveyor belt, and they go through the process of having the glaze added to them, or the sugar, or whatever, you know, whichever type of donut you're doing. And there's so many different types of donuts. You know, there's the jelly filled donuts. So that goes back to like having the berries and stuff like that. There's a whole world of production that can be done out there. And it'd be really cool to have your farmer need to eat. So the farmer, it'd be nice to have, you could make it to where you could turn it on and off if you didn't want to do it. But if you wanted to do it, you could go to town and have breakfast at the Central Cafe. You know, have your coffee, have your donut, have your eggs, and maybe some hash browns. I'm trying to think of what they would consider an E-rated meal. Maybe have some, what are those things called? The breakfast thing that has like tomatoes and onions and spinach in it. What are those called? Is it like a frittata or something like that? Or quiche? Something like that, you know, cheese, it's got cheese in it. And eggs. It'd be cool to be able to have your guy, you know, go in there and have pancakes or waffles or something. We had a Waffle Hut over on Silver Run, and I can't tell you how many times I wanted a waffle. Let go my ego. I mean, we've got oats. It'd be kind of cool to have oatmeal. Have some oatmeal cream pies. I doubt we'll get those because those are probably like a brand name thing. Unless you slap Little Debbie on there. Hey, if Tomcat's watching, you know, we could slap Little Deborah on there. That's one of his long-time running jokes. We could have Little Deborah. I don't know, that might be too close to Little Debbie, but have Little Deborah cakes that you can make in Farming Simulator. With the sugar and the oatmeal and eggs and milk and flour and, you know, all that stuff. And we can make chocolate. We can already do chocolate. It'd be nice to be able to take that a step further. All the chocolate, you know. Let's open a veritable Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in Farming Simulator. Somebody out there in the modding community, if you're making productions, make me a chocolate factory. I want. There's Tomcat. Good morning, Tomcat. We're talking about you. We could have like a Big Deborah cake or something like that. But yeah, make a chocolate factory, okay? And it'd be cool to be able to go into the factory and see the process, you know. I find it funny that we can make chocolate, but we don't have the cocoa beans for that process. What does it take to make chocolate? I think all we do is deliver the milk and stuff for that, right? Kind of curious. Let me go look at that. Does it show you like the whole step? Let's see. There's chocolate. So if we go down here, so you need milk and sugar right now. So just milk and sugar. You don't have to provide like the actual cocoa. Well, you think about it. I mean, hey, if you're gonna do something wrong, do it right. Let's make okay, how do you say it? Do y'all say it caramel or do you say caramel? I'm from the deep south, so I've always said caramel. So it sounds like I'm saying car, like a vehicle, and mull. I know there's a few at work that disagree, that they're more of the caramels, like a Care Bear. Caramels. They like to call it that. Call them Big Deborahs, yep. Big Deborah's oatmeal cream pies. Big Deborah. Let's see, not ho-hos. Ho-hos, I always kind of clash with Hostess. Because, you know, with Hostess, you have ho-hos, you have Twinkies, you have, you know, snowballs, you have... And sometimes there's some crossover type stuff. So, like the Swiss cakes are the same as something I can't remember the name of. Hostess has the same thing sometimes that Little Debbie has. It'll be that disgusting white chocolate with no cocoa. I've never heard of those, Sean. What are the ones that used to come in the aluminum foil? Is it the ding dongs? Then you have your zingers. Got the honey buns. Oh man, the iced honey buns. Oh man, ooh, good stuff. You know, they don't make them like they used to though. But I have found that I wonder if they sold their recipe maybe or something, or if somebody copycatted their recipe, because you can get. I'm trying to remember the name of the other one. There's some off-branded names, and I want to say one of them's a Mr. something and one of them's a Mrs. something. But you can get that brand, and it tastes like what the Hostess stuff used to taste like. I don't know why Hostess changed their stuff, probably to make it cheaper, to be honest. Um, which reminds me, I am on the lookout for the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. And it's got to be the big pack. Because those are the Christmas tree cakes that are like the original Christmas tree cake. They're not shrunk down, and they don't taste like wax. They actually taste like the Christmas tree cake used to taste like back in the 80s. So if you want the original Little Debbie Christmas tree cake, you got to get the big box. You can find them at select grocery markets, but that's what you want. You're gonna want the big pack of the Christmas tree cakes. Pretty sure you can probably order them online now too. Probably can order them on Amazon. Sam's had some giant boxes. Yeah, it's got to be the big pack. And you'll note the difference when you look at them. The size of the cake, but the shape of the cake. So the corners of like the tree limbs are not really squared off, but they're more of a angle. Whereas when you buy the cheaper box, like the standard box now, the cake, it kind of resembles a tree, but they're not really. What's the right word? They're not like angled symmetrically. Maybe symmetrical? They're not really symmetrical. It's kind of like the Reese's. You guys remember the Reese's Christmas tree that does not really resemble a Christmas tree hardly anymore? I don't know, maybe they made some changes to it. But basically the Reese's Christmas tree candies were getting to the point where they were just like little round. It was more like a somewhat of an oval. And they used to have, better edges, that were more like a tree branch. Oh, yeah. Yep, those will probably be in the freezer section again. The Little Debbie Christmas tree cake ice cream. Yes, they are. They are bringing back the chocolate Christmas tree cakes this year. I don't think they have the big pack of those, but they were okay, I think. The ones that they're not bringing back are the red velvet trees, and then they actually had it was another one. What was that flavor? So they had the original, they had the chocolate, they had the red velvet, which was basically a green tree with red velvet cake in it. And then there was one more flavor. It was a white tree, and it had brown cake mix in it. Don't quote me on this, but I want to say it was an eggnog flavored one. I'm not a big fan of eggnog. It was either eggnog or some type of gingerbread type flavor. I'd have to go Google it now just to see. This guy's gonna start running north-south lines here, so pull up here and park for a minute. Go Google some Christmas tree cakes. Maybe discontinued. Discontinued. If I could type, that would be a whole lot better. Let's see if I can find them. So they have the brownie ones. I'm not talking about those. So there's the red velvet ones. They had another one. That might be it right there. Yeah, that's it right there. What flavor is that? What did I do? I'm trying to save the image. How do I save that image? Go back. I love it when the image has the text in it now and you can't. How do I do that? I want to save that image. How do I do that? Here we go. Alright, so there's that one. Here's this one. This is the red velvet one. And then you guys know what the white ones and the chocolate ones are. Okay. So let me, I'll go post these in Discord. There, I put those in Discord. So there's the discontinued Christmas tree cakes that they did before. It was, oh, nutmeg. It was cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg. That was the other Christmas tree cake that they had before. So they had that one. They had the red velvet one, which was green and it had red velvet cake mix in it. And then they had the traditional white, the original white Christmas tree cake. That's probably the more iconic one. And then the chocolate one. So that's your history of Christmas tree cakes. Yeah, they made a red velvet one. I put the picture in Discord, Sean. They had the red velvet one. I remember buying all of them. I've had the nutmeg one. I've had the red velvet one. I've had the chocolate one. I like the chocolate one, and then I've had the original. So there were 4 different kinds of Christmas tree cakes. I think they did have an eggnog flavored cake, but it wasn't a tree. I think they had an eggnog flavored cake. I want to say it might have been like a Swiss roll or something. But yeah, ho-hos and Swiss rolls are basically the same cake. I think Swiss rolls is what Little Debbie has, and ho-hos, that's Hostess. Yeah, eggnog rolls. Okay, yeah. I remember something. I was trying to remember what the other tree was, and I thought it was eggnog, but that was the nutmeg one. But I do remember them having the eggnog rolls. Yeah, I'm not a big eggnog guy. Never really have been. So while he's going back that way, I'm gonna go empty again. Yeah, the Christmas tree cake donuts. I saw those too. Most likely they will bring them back. I think when we get they're bringing. I think they've got some out now, but I think when we really get into November, probably this last week of October coming up, we'll start seeing those more in stores. A lot of that Christmas stuff. Don't know if that'll be opened up over there. If I can drive back through there, I have to go back around. Oh no, it is opened up. Okay, so he did go through there. So when I come back, I'll come around and then just go up through there. So I'm assuming he's gonna go north and south on all this, and then he'll come back over here and hit this. So basically the strawberry shortcake rolls, yeah, okay. Yeah, the strawberry shortcake, they're pretty close to the Swiss rolls, but a little different. Almost the same concept. Those strawberry rolls were pretty good too. about 400,000. It was 22 as fast as I go. That's all I got. Well, get there, get there, get there, get there. I'm trying to get to him. Down on 6. Yep, gonna try to rework my studio just a little bit. Make a few little changes here and there. Already done a little bit of work on it. I moved my keyboard down. I've got a second little kind of rung or shelf. So I moved that down there. I'm gonna move my stream deck. I think I'm gonna move that over to my right side. It'll give me more room for snacks and stuff too. Oh, EY modding is at it again. He's working on something new. He's always posting these pictures. You have to guess what it is. Trying to figure out what that is. It looks very... Looking at the grill, I don't know. When you look at the side, I don't know. I'll post that in Discord. I don't know what it is. Name that tractor, I guess. All you tractor experts, go. It's in the Puma Plow Discord. Name that tractor and or hood. That's the hood of it. What brand is that? It's definitely a older style hood, older style tractor. I can tell you it doesn't look like a deer hood to me. It could be International Harvester. It could be Massey Ferguson, maybe. I don't know. I'm looking at the hood. I don't know. Name that hood. You think it's a case? Could be a case. It almost has a look of like a Massey hood or an older, it's all older style. And there was a ton of older tractors out there that kind of had the similar kind of square body front on it like that. But looking at the grill and looking at the hood, I'm almost leaning towards like a Minneapolis Moline. But the side doesn't look like one. Maybe it is. It's got the front end like a Minneapolis Moline. At least the hood and the grill kind of matching up. And it almost kind of looks like well, no, not really. I'm looking at all the older tractors here. It doesn't really have the grill that the old Alice's do. Not a deer. Yeah, I'm almost with you, Sean. It almost looks like an older case, like one of the old articulated, older style case tractors. But then the front end of it looks more like a Minneapolis Moline. don't think it's a Massey. Maybe an Oliver? Maybe? Maybe, Jeff? This one looks a little more curved at the top. Don't drive off into the pond looking at tractor pictures. It's a little more curved at the top, and then the hood kind of comes back down where that case it kind of stays open back on the side. Hard to explain it when I can't, like, I'm pointing at it like you guys can see what I'm pointing at. It looks a little more curved on the top of the hood. So when you go from the front corner of the very front to the back corner, it looks like it's got like an arch kind of curve on it. I would say it's definitely a tractor from like the 70s era. Not a deer. Could be an old white. It still kind of looks like the hood of an old Minneapolis Moline. Every picture that I'm seeing of the Molines looks more and more like that, just based on the design. Can we see? Yeah. Are you in the Puma Plow Discord? That's where I put the picture. Or if you want to look at the picture that EY posted, go to EY Modding on Facebook. You can look at the picture there. EY Modding, he's done a ton of work in the mod hub for, you know, the tractors. We've got a lot of his stuff on here now. Let's take a look at his stuff in here that we got. So these tractors, these are done by EY Modding. So yeah, the hood, the grill kind of looks like that, and the hood kind of looks like that. So it might be an old International tractor, a previous model. So the hood kind of resembles this. It's not as long, it doesn't look like. So it might be an older international tractor. It almost looks like something on that would be on a like an articulated tractor. I don't think there's any large ones in here that he's done. No. But it's definitely got that style. Kind of like that box kind of frame style to it in the front. So you know it's got to be a tractor from like the 70s, maybe early 80s. Question is, what tractor is it? Whatever he's working on for his next project. He's getting, it looks like he's getting probably pretty close to releasing the 5088 models, probably in the mod hub at some point soon. Really like his work though. He's done international stuff. He's done John Deere stuff. We've used a lot of his stuff. He's done the 3000, the 40, the 4020 series, the 4300 series John Deere tractors. A lot of the really old, like Model A, the older style kind of tricycle tractors. Oh, it's doing that thing again where I can't see the grain. It looks like I have no grain in there, but there is grain in there. I don't know what causes it to do that. I think it has like a limit on how many times it can fill up. And then it's like, nope, I'm out. Can't fill up. You can't see it anymore. You've had your visual graphical limit for how many times you can see the auger wagon fill up. No, it's not just with this auger. I think it's pretty much every auger. It's not just the augers that it does it to either. I think it does it to the semi-trailers and the tippers too. But you can see down there I'm 70, almost 80% full. And you cannot see a speck of grain in there. But I'll go empty it, and as soon as I reset it, when I come back after hooking back up to it and fill it up again, it will show the grain. You have to reset it. Isn't that weird? You literally have to reset it for it to fix it. Tell you what, he doesn't have very many passes left here. I'm going to go empty after I get done with this pass. And then I'll reset it. See, I think I'm closer to home. I may go dump this over at home. Or you know what? I can just dump this load into the water mill back there. That's what I'll do. I'll take this straight to the water mill right back here. That'll be quick. And then I'll reset this. go ahead and put this in the flour mill here. Wonder, can I magically disconnect from this and... Nope, you have to stay connected to it. I was gonna say, sometimes you can magically disconnect from them and they'll keep dumping, but you gotta keep that PTO going now. Alright, now I can disconnect from it and then I should be able to reset it, right? So I can zoom in on it here. Right there. Reset. Alright, let me boogie up there. I gotta put on my boogie tracks. Alright, so now, knock on wood, it should show the green in the tank again. Now I just gotta find my combine. That it right there? Probably getting ready to turn around. Yep, need to turn around. Catch you on the other side, man. Catch you on the other side. You not gonna get this last little bit here, bro, or where? Still some there. It totally looks like he's going over here, though. Okay. At least go that way so I can unload you here. Turn. Yeah, I guess he's just gonna leave that other little bit over there, maybe. I don't know, maybe he'll come back to it. That's a waste of fuel, though. Alright, we should see the grain now. Yep, I can see it. It's coming up through the bottom there. So yeah, well, if you're having that issue with your auger wagon, your tipper, your trailer, where your grain, you can't see the grain, but it says that you have grain, just reset it. That's the only, to me, that's the only fix for it at the moment. That is something that started happening with one of the updates back in the, I want to say the late spring, early summer. It's where the grain started disappearing. I don't know why it does it. Who knows why a lot of this stuff does what it does. Not me. I don't know. Are you playing any games off stream at the moment? No. When I'm playing Farm Sim, I usually don't play any other games at the same time. I don't even really have any ever running in the background. I've got my TV running in the background, and I'm looking at pictures of older tractors and looking at pictures of Christmas tree cakes. But other than that, I'm not playing any other games. I do have some snacks sitting over here staring at me. Not snaring. Boy, snaring would be bad. They're staring at me like they're saying, eat me. So, yeah, I'm thinking about grabbing a snack here in just a little bit. Mm. The internet is divided on which tractor that is that EY Modding is working on. I can say it does kind of look like the anteater design of the International. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Still, I mean, it kind of looks like a Massey, but the reason why I say it's not a Massey is that arch. The arch on the top of the hood. That makes it look more like the anteater style tractors that he put in here. So when you look at these, if I can zoom in on it, see how it has that kind of curve in the hood that arches kind of up and back towards the cab? It has that same kind of curve in it. The grill is what's different. It almost has a grill like that. Or maybe like that, but it's not this long. It's not one of these extended what they're calling anteater style. 2+2 fan club. We're done fixing the flour mill over here. Let's see, that's gonna be oat flour. Didn't activate that. We're still got corn flour going. We've got fine flour going. There's a save. Let me turn the wheat one off. Alright. Was he getting that little pass? Yeah. I wonder if I can do this backwards. I don't think I got time to turn around, but I'm gonna try this. It'll be very hard to do with an articulated tractor. Totally working. It's a reverse harvest. Kinda. It's whenever we... Not technically. We don't really have, like, set cutoffs for when we decide to move on. You can set that goal of owning all the fields, owning all the productions. That's a nice goal to kind of, you know, do if you want to set that goal before you switch them out. Sometimes a new map will come out and it's like, you know what? Let's go check out the new map. That's kind of what's happening here. And not to say that we won't come back to this map, because this is a great map. And I've actually started a little expansion project over there south of gosh, what field is that? Wait, let me do that so I don't lose my tractor. Which field is that? That field, whichever one that is, 20 something, 20. Yeah, so might be able to see it better in the growth. Yeah, probably the growth. So we've got these soybeans all over here in this field that we merged all together. You can notice some plow lines over here. Going to be expanding that field. Got a lot of trees to clear. Basically, I just went in and did the perimeter of it that kind of lines up with that field. And there's too much of a hill there. Unless I did a lot of smoothing, I don't think I could pull it any tighter to the road there. Probably just keep that original edge of the field. But we can expand that field that way. And then also want to expand this field this way. So... But yeah, those are nice goals if you want to set those, you know, own all the fields, own all the productions, have them up and running, you know. But then again, it's like the Highlands map is coming out in just a little over a week. So we know that this map will go on the shelf. We'll move on to the Highlands map. And we're going to be doing that a lot, especially in November. So the whole month of November, get ready, because we're going to be on that map a lot. We're probably going to be juggling 2 maps. Stevie is working on testing his map. There's no release date set yet. I would say it would probably come out in November as well. Just looking at the screenshots, looking at the videos that I've seen on it, it looks like it's getting down to the final stages of testing. So I would say Stevie's Riverbend 4X map will be coming out in November. I know he said that he was going to wait until after the Highlands map came out. So just just to maybe add some of that stuff in there if you can. Yeah, he's working on Riverbend Springs, but it's a 4X version, and it's a Stevie map. So we like our Stevie maps, like our Stevie mods, and we like our Stevie maps. So that is coming. That's in the works. Yes, I am taking off. So it's scheduled for release for November 4th. I'm taking off the day before and the day after. I'm taking off November 3rd through the 5th. So that if the map does come out on November 3rd, I'll be there to play it. And then I'll have time to play it if it comes out on the scheduled date, which is November 4th. And then I'll have the day after to play it as well. But yeah, we'll definitely be playing the expansion map when it comes out. So whenever it drops, I'm going to try to keep a very close eye on it. Whenever it drops, I will be going live. Yep. We'll be streaming. We'll be here. We'll be streaming, and the videos will come out to YouTube sometime. I don't know when. I talked about this earlier. I was really shooting for like maybe Thursday and Friday, but just it depends on really the timing of when we're streaming, and when we're not streaming, and then most likely the videos will come out Thursday and Friday from the streams. Kind of like we do on the weekends. We stream now, and then these videos go to YouTube the few days after. Oh, yeah, it could be that one. Might be this one, Jeff. Might be that one. Don't know for sure. That was somebody else's guess, not my guess. But it could be that one. I just looked up the picture of what that one is. Not familiar with that one. But it could be that one. Grill matches, the hood matches, definitely could be that style. That might be it. Yeah, it looks close. If it's not that exact one, then it's definitely from that class, that era. Because the hood, the grill, even the sides of the hood, um, and I would say it's in the same class as that anteater style ones that he's already put out. So depending on what years those came out, I'd have to go and look that up. But it looks like it's from that same era. So he's working on I guess that's his next project. He's working on that. I think he's done with the 50 series, the 500 series, not 50 series. He showed off all the configurations for the 50 series. Yeah, it is a 50 series. The IH 50 series. I'm looking forward to that one. Sounds like summertime outside. My neighbor is mowing their yard. Let me go dump this over there. We're getting there, knocking it out pretty quick. And then I was gonna go straight on to October, and then we could start the corn and. But we gotta hit the sorghum down there, and then we gotta plant wheat and barley up here. So I think I'm gonna do barley over there and wheat over here. That means we gotta fertilize, we gotta plow. Gotta do all that before we can really move along. They have to do those harvests tomorrow. Alright, so YouTube, I'm going to take my first break. So YouTube, we'll see you guys in the next video. Always remember you reap what you sow. Matt from the Green Arcade. We'll see y'all in the next one. See you later, YouTube.